If you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
if you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
we just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash. I put my money in a strong position. They try to tell me I can't win, it's just a stupid superstition. Cause when I focus, you will notice that I'm winning. We demolish every bookie, there ain't no competition. Now listen, I would never give you shitty picks and do you wrong. Come and join the Discord, tell these bets and hit the bone. Cooking up a parlay super unders and a song. We be really winning, this ain't just to make another song. So if you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
we coming in and we taking all the money.
Just cash.
They can't do nothing to stop us.
Just cash.
Hey, fuck these bookies, man.
Just cash.
They wanna limit me cause I win. Label me the enemy cause all I do is win. Just give us a try, this is where it all begins. I'm not gonna lie, all I know how to do is just win. If you love making money and wanna win,
Just
they wanna
cash.
limit me cause I win.
Just cash.
If you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash. Just cash.
Just cash.
love making money and wanna win.
Just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash. Love making money and wanna win.
Just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash.
Hey, hold up. Fuck, I lost too much money on that shit. You
Just cash.
Hey, E, what's up, man? It's been so long. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's going on, fam? Welcome back. Got a couple days off, but getting ready for the tournament life here, and it is some late night just cash. What's going on, man? How are you, Underrated?
I'm great, man, and hearing your new mic and how fucking clean and crisp you sound, making me happy. Those are the things that makes me happy. I have a little bit different things that make me happy, but when I hear this type of sound right now, E, I'm excited. And we could win too on the side if you want to.
Yeah, definitely trying to win, and I don't know what I did differently, but thankfully got the mic working, so sound quality coming through loud and clear. And yeah, man, we had a bit of a weird schedule, the weekend with a lot of early games, and then they kind of rounded it out with Monday, Tuesday, and today being night games, and then we're starting back up in the morning, and we got a shitload of games tomorrow. So what do you think about that?
I think I will be doing a lot of plays tonight before I go to sleep, and I will be waking up to check the scores halfway through the first game. Because fuck that. It's way too early.
Yeah, I'm probably going to hit the snooze button a little bit and, sleep in a little bit myself. Especially with the fact, typically we're waiting around for the fantasy lines, and it looks like they got most of them up already. So honestly, anything tomorrow is probably just going to be bumps and beyond. But pretty decent slate. I think honestly the next round of the tournament's going to be even better. This first round we still got a lot of the low tier teams, the guys who just squeaked in on the just barely making it over the wire. So a few lopsided games to look out for, a couple landmines along the way. But yeah, man, moving forward it's going to be real interesting, and especially with unfortunate Cooper Flag going down the first few minutes of that last game, I think that really could shake up the whole tournament scene as a whole. So it's anybody's game at this point, man. And I think for a spectator standpoint, this is going to be a really good bracket.
It really is, man. I remember always doing the brackets before I was really into it, and it's so different. You just see the team names, and you're just like, oh, yeah. There's so many upsets. I was looking through it, and I was like, man, it's so hard to pick these teams playing each other. There's so many good teams. Or you could say whatever. Medium teams, who knows, but the parity's crazy. Anyone could beat anyone. It's hard to pick, man, honestly. There's a couple teams I really do like, but there's going to be a lot of upsets too. Surprising shit. It always happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, man, and I'm right there with you. There's definitely a couple of sleeper teams, and some of our in-house favorites that we've kind of rooted for along the season, and it definitely should be exciting. So I'm looking forward to it and everything moving forward. But before we hop into anything else, you guys do us a huge favor. Make sure and hit that like button, and don't forget to be subscribed. Miss out anytime we do go live, drop some videos, and all that good stuff. WNBA is less than 2 months around the corner, so we're going to have a lot more content and stuff ramped up in lieu of that, getting ready for the draft and everything as well. It's going to be a busy schedule. And do you know what time, just off the top of your head, if you do, when MPB starts up?
I think about a week, actually.
Oh, nice. Okay, so
Yeah,
in baseball, did that officially start, or is that here soon as well?
I think that's in a few days, or it might be fucking today. I could be wrong, 'cause you know how much I care about baseball. Not much, but it's definitely it could have been today.
Hey, I know it's in the near future. So some new sports, new things moving along the way. Should be fun, but let's talk about some college basketball here. And first up, we got one of our fan favorites, Big Jace Richardson. Just a phenomenal player from Michigan State, playing up against a bunch of nobodies. No offense, I say these nobodies just as comparison, to the more top tier schools, but going up against Bryant, I think it was a 17.5 point spread. So do have a small bit of caution. Could see some blowout action here, but the PRA line for him still pretty, I think, in play for us. 23.5 is definitely not bad. He's really asserted himself as the guy on the team, in the end of the season, and honestly, since he just moved into the starting five. But we gotta love the volume, anywhere from 10 to 13 field goal attempts a game. He's a mixed bag shooter, so we get a good split between threes and from the field. He's getting to the free throw line a lot, and I love to see this number just kind of continue to climb as that consistency, especially in the close games. He's getting a lot of the icing free throws, but this should be a pretty easy matchup. We got a fairly healthy total at 152.5, so I don't mind that. It's going to be a pace up spot for Michigan State, and as long as it's not, just if it's a 40-point blowout, then he could play some obvious reduced minutes. But even if they just keep it under 30, I'd expect him to still play at least 28 to 30 minutes this game, and he's been the backbone of the offense. So yeah, Jace Richardson, 23.5 PRA.
Can't hate on that, bro. He's been coming on. He's one of those guys went the opposite of Ace Bailey and Igor, the freshman that just went the other way. Just started out a little slow and been crazy good on fire for the last month. So it's cool to get him here because they're going to feed him the ball. 23.5 is a little high. It feels like, just because his lines have been so low because of earlier in the season. But now in this game, I can feel you on the 23.5, just taking a shot at that. So I'm in with you.
Right on. Well, I do see Q Donkey has a question about Chucky's points. We'll get to that here in just a minute when we talk about this Creighton Louisville game. Next up are for Arkansas and Kansas meeting. We got two different plays in here that I think were really appealing. One of them definitely this Trevon Brazil, I forget how they pronounce it, but Trevon, he's been a phenomenal player so far, stepping in for Adu. And you can see, he had a couple spot starts in the season whenever Homeby was dealing with injuries, but now down the stretch, coach has been totally happy leaving him in the game. I mean, for almost the entire game, really. But he just had this one game where he got foul trouble. He had 5 fouls, so he did foul out in 26 minutes. But this dude has just been a menace on the glass. I mean, look at all these offensive rebounds he's been averaging. That's leading to a lot of putbacks and a lot of different free throw looks. The free throws could be a little bit more cleaned up than that, but I do like the high efficiency that we're seeing here. I think the 7 to 9 field goal range is totally doable. And in this matchup, there's a good chance they're probably going to try and space out, like Dickerson and the guys down low. So he should get a lot of isolation there. I do like that he is, again, a mixed bag shooter. He also shoots a handful of threes, kind of 50-50 from the field. He's been very efficient with the three-point shooting. So I do like they are using him as that kind of offensive weapon. But the different things he's just kind of offering here, plus the minutes, the 9.5 point line just seems a touch too low. They did really over adjust, I feel, his rebounds. I think he's all the way up to like 8.5. Yeah, 8.5 rebounds. I'm good on that. So I don't want to play the PR personally. A small shout out for the 18.5, but 9.5 points. That's just, I feel, a little bit too low for the kind of role that he's playing here for the team and the kind of minutes that he's getting.
Yeah, I mean, anything at 9.5 is like, bro, you just got to do a few little things here and we're good. And like you said, the only time he hasn't hit that is when he was in crazy foul trouble. Gotta like it, man. 9.5 points. I'm with it.
Yeah. And it's funny, too, we've seen the kind of fluidity that's been Arkansas coming down the stretch where it honestly seems it just kind of goes from one player to another once we had this reform of the starting five. Because, I mean, we've seen, between the center, he's gone off for several games, and he kind of died and fell off the face of the earth. We had John L. Davis, who was popping off for a while. And then, Wagner, he was kind of doing his thing for the start. And now just coming down the stretch, it just seems like the whole team is really contributing. There's not really like one de facto guy. So if you're going to spread the ball out that much, kind of segue into our second play here. But DJ Wagner at 3.5 assists, just a little bit low. I mean, you look at some of the matchups where he's failed here. Sacred Heart or South Carolina, they are definitely no slouch. On the road, too, they got beat by almost 20 points. Vanderbilt, who's honestly been a pretty solid team, is a blowout in the other way almost. And then we got Mizzou and Texas A&M. So, I mean, these are pretty tough teams here defensively. And this particular matchup, though, I mean, I'm not too worried about that. Honestly, I don't think Kansas is playing really good defense. I think they're playing really, really good offense, and they're creating a lot of turnovers. But defense, they're not stopping too many shots. So wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of conversions here. And, I mean, me personally, as much as I don't like the scoring upside for DJ Wagner, he's a very, very good playmaker and a very capable passer. So 3.5 just seems a little bit too low. We get a nice 145.5 total. It's a pace-up spot for Arkansas, too.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things about him is those minutes. Is he playing crazy minutes still? Like high 30s? I love that.
For Wag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. That always makes it feel a lot better about 3.5 assists. It's not very much if you're the point guard playing 38 minutes. Like, you should be able to get us 4, buddy.
Yeah.
So it feels pretty good. I can't complain. Both of those plays are cool because they're on the low end. They don't need to do that much. I mean, just do your average thing, buddy, and we're good.
Yeah, and it could definitely be some of the last games for a few of these guys. So it's not like, I mean, personally, I'd be super pissed if coaches bench me and some, even if it was a slight blowout, just like leave us out there. It's the last time we're going to play here. So, especially for some of these more senior guys too, I think they're going to get those few extra minutes and whatever the case ends up being.
Mm-hmm. So I haven't even looked at the schedule as far as the timing. I guess I should. You said they started at 9 my time? 9 Pacific?
Yeah, it's like a Saturday start time, more or less. It's 12:15 Eastern is going to be the first start time.
Wow, I remember this now. All day long. The whole day.
They literally play until, I think, like 10:30 or something. No, so 10:10 Eastern is when the last game kicks off.
So there's 16 games. It's like football, kind of. It's like a football Sunday almost, in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. So you're looking at Chucky now?
Yeah. God, I'm so pissed. I missed his turnover prop earlier, bro. That would have been the freest thing ever.
Would they have 1.5 and they took it off the board?
Yes, I'm so pissed.
Damn.
I shit you not. I literally had it in the queue, was going to type the write up and everything for it, and then it was like, oh, projections have changed.
Did you get it? Did you get it in yourself?
No.
Oh, I hate that. That's even worse. It's like, man, I didn't get it out in the Discord, but fall back on, at least I got some money on it for myself. Let me see. And then you didn't get either. I do that too. I always try to post. I actually usually post before I get my own play in. That's when it gets you. Like, look what we're doing, guys. You're sacrificing your life. That 1.5, it could have been yours.
I didn't think they were just gonna, take it away
Right.
completely and just not give it back. That was the more unfortunate part. But
Weird. Is that on other sites though? Is that on like a FanDuel style type of site or no?
For the turnovers, no, not typically. And I was hoping Flip was gonna have that in the clutch, but they didn't even have props for that game up earlier.
Tripping. Let me see if Flip has it just for fun since we're here. Okay. So we got Big J's. Yeah, so what's up with Chucky points?
I mean, it's not a bad play. It's definitely a little bit higher than his normal. The matchup's not too terrible. Stephen Ashworth on the other side's a pretty terrible defensive player. He could definitely, I'll say I could totally see Chucky getting like anywhere between at least 2, potentially 4 points off of just fast breaks on turnovers, almost directly from Ashworth. I mean, Ashworth's averaging almost 4 turnovers a game, so he's definitely live, to cough it up a few times here. It's hard to honestly just land straight up on Chucky's scoring. I think for him, if I was leaning towards anything else, I mean, because you can see he's just kind of barely getting over in some of these games. The Pittsburgh game, he shot the lights out from 3. He shot 6 threes. So it's really, honestly, I mean, do or die on his 3-point shot. For these kind of odds, I'd be leaning more towards just a straight up threes as opposed to like the points itself. But his value really lies in him just kind of doing everything. And he's a real big steal guy. I mean, you can see, he's averaging over 2.5 steals a game, which is pretty crazy. He turns the ball over a little bit, so I mean, he does come with that risk, but he's pretty well stayed at 30 to 31.5 assists for like, I don't even know how long. And they just kind of keep leaving him here every time he misses. So he missed this last game, hit a bunch of turnovers, and, the team just really didn't do a whole lot his way. But yeah, man, I mean, he's a stock getter, so I probably lean fantasy in threes if I had to, pick between the two.
What were his points at?
15.5.
Yeah, I feel you on that. He's not really a scorer. He's an everything doer, like you said. So I feel you on that. And if he's a steal guy too, he can get there quick. Yeah, 31's not the worst number. I don't fucking follow fantasy like you, but that doesn't seem too high for him.
No, I mean, he plays a shitload of minutes. I mean, he's basically a 39 to 40 minute guy. So he's going to be out there.
I love that. The alt master, PRA. Give me it.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I see E2. And he was first today. We got to give him a little bit of credit here. E2.
Yo, what's up, man?
E2 got some plays, too. He's throwing some plays in the chat. What's up with that?
Nimhard at 8.5 assists. Yeah, man. The assists aren't bad. I mean, he's definitely going to do a large majority of the damage from that. His fantasy also still fairly live. He's been turning the ball over a little bit less lately, so I mean, I do like to see that. The problem with him is he's really not scoring that much. I mean, at best, you're getting 10 to 12 points really out of him, so it's strictly coming off of all that, plus his steal upside, which, I mean, I will say it's a really good spot for his steals, so I don't mind it. Pretty appropriate line, anywhere between 30-31 range is, fairly normal for him. I don't mind it, but Gonzaga's has been kind of weird, man, honestly, and nothing too special here, I'll say.
Yeah, when we have so many games and so many props, got to figure out what you like the most. And if something's might as well pass, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's been like the same old play. You love the minutes. I mean, you like to see the production out of him when he's rolling, but sometimes he can just go out and have such a stale game where, he puts up like 8 points, 8-9 assists, and then maybe he gets a couple boards, but everything else along the way, you're really sweating, like the steals or the actual scoring beyond that.
I feel you. Man, your mic sounds sick though. Okay, just wanted
Does it?
to.
I might have to go
Yes.
back and
The
listen
thing
to
is,
it.
what it is it's something about it still going in and out just every now and then because I'm crazy and hear that shit. I don't know if anyone would really notice. So something's a little bit, maybe not 100%, but I feel like the more you're doing it, the better I'm hearing you. Like you sound right now, dude. It's tight. I'm stoked on it. It matters, bro. I know I'm the stickler about this, and you're like, whatever, bro. It sounds the same, bro. I'm telling you, it sounds so much better. I'm stoked.
I don't have the little cover cap thing on it right now either.
Huh.
So maybe it could be catching a Sealand fan.
Either way, I can hear the potential because we'll be able to lock it in and get it even better if we need to. But I'm just saying, right out the box, it sounds how I was hoping it would sound. Because before, your other one would kind of like mid-rangey up. It would be a little bit tinny and hurt my ears a little bit. But this one sounds how it's supposed to be, bro. You sound like a real podcast now, E.
Hey, love to hear that.
All right, side note, we're back. I digress.
All right. Well, we're digressing. So we're looking at Harris Jr. here. You know, honestly, his assists kind of hard to play that straight up. But I mean, man, you look at him. He's definitely a Swiss Army knife for this team here. I think the assist at 5.5, albeit, I mean, it is plus money. It's only minus 114 for the under. Maybe we could wheel a 4.5 line here. That'd be kind of cool. I'm assuming this 4.5 on Prizepicks is probably a goblin, but yeah, the assist is not bad. You know, just don't sleep on the scoring. He definitely gets some elevated lines from his scoring. The PRA looked pretty nice. A 69, can't be mad at that. Pretty good. And also the fantasy too. I mean, if you assume that he's, playmaking and whatnot, he's going to rack up the fantasy from there. He's a reasonable steal guy. I mean, he gets pretty much at least one a game. Kind of hard to trust that, anything beyond that. But he's been a decent rebounder too. That was another thing that I noticed for him over the last kind of half of the month here, when I think somebody got hurt. I don't recall, but his role definitely changed, where you can see that he's been a lot more of a consistent rebounder. So something with that. Even the RA, not that bad, but yeah, the PRA kind of stood out though, I think.
Okay. I see Chachi in the chat.
Yeah, we got some questions. What's good, man?
Yeah, he got some questions. You want me to go in order here, or what you thinking? There's a bunch now. So I know you don't want to stick around too long and go through everyone's in depth. So do you want to maybe bounce around, or what you thinking?
Yeah, well, I'm just kind of going down the list from at least from where I see for the chat for me. Let's see,
you can go ahead and just throw some out that are interesting to you. You don't have to do all of them.
Yeah, because some of these guys, I'm definitely like the Pinson guy. We've never played him before. I have no idea who that is. Jaden Aikman, yeah, Bo Montgomery. I'm not sure who that is. All right, Wade Taylor though. Let's see, assists, team in line. All right, assists.
I see a turnover prop, a turnover question too. Ooh, turnovers. Danny C says, Danny C's here too. He got a question too. Okay, cool. People got questions tonight for you. You probably like your mic so much they just want to keep hearing you talk.
Hey, it's possible. Yeah, Wade Taylor, I'd probably leave him alone, honestly. I mean, there's a lot of irregularities between what he's been doing, in the first half of the season and the second half here. It's a decent matchup, I will say, but nothing too special here. He's definitely somebody who's probably going to get bumped down. 3.5 line. 3.5 maybe. I might fuck with that, but 4.5, that's a huge leap for him. I mean, it's... Oh gosh, almost 30% lead.
That's scary. Can we go under?
Yeah, I mean that's what Underdog's favoring right now is under this. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go over that. I mean, it's just a little too risky there.
Chachi says, "What's good, y'all? What's up, bro? So what else do you want to look at here? Clayton Clayton turnovers. Drake
Yeah,
Powell,
we'll take a look at
PR.
Clayton. Let's see, Akins over RA. Akins is all right, but he's just kind of getting lost in the shuffle on the offense. I mean, it seems like his production's really taken a hit since Jay started. His playmaking is definitely taking a hit. I mean, it wasn't really that consistent to begin with, but he's really only passing to Jace. So, I mean, his conversions mostly are coming from that, but I don't know, man. Just a really unreliable player. He's definitely somebody who's burned me in the past before from the scoring because he'll just go out and do like absolutely nothing and run cardio. So, I mean, yeah, if you're going to do something, the RA would make sense. I'd probably lean. Oh, man, I hate playing plus numbers anytime I see plus money on both of them. Yeah, I'd probably pass on that one, to be honest.
I forgot about that button. Such a good one. Okay.
Well, it's just hard to get more excited about him, you know, if we're playing Jason anyways.
Right.
All right, Walter Clayton. And who is this team that Florida is playing?
Somebody terrible.
Yeah.
This might 28. This is the one I was thinking that Michigan State was. When you look at that number and you laugh, it's funny because that's what I thought. I thought Michigan State had that spread, but I'm glad it's only 17.5.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, I mean, so this is definitely, you know, a trap play. He could get there. I'll say all certainty he could totally get there just doing bonehead stuff, but man, that's a crazy spread. If there's a game that they could rest their guys and stuff, this would definitely be one of them. So if you're feeling the Butterfingers continues, you know, I get it. But if he goes out and he plays 28 to 30 minutes, I would not be surprised.
Okay.
That's crazy. I didn't even realize that spread was that massive.
Oh yeah, you couldn't even contain yourself. You're like, oh shit, this is gonna be worse than the worst WNBA game. 28.5. This is like the beginning of the season when they played way out of conference. Way. That's what it is.
Well, I mean, that's what I was meaning earlier too. For no disrespect, but some of these low-level teams that are gonna have, you know, an outrageous spread like this, you know, it's pretty clear who the more top dog team's gonna be. Let's see. We got rebound, assist, under. Yeah, honestly, don't mind this one. We've seen Caleb Love and I forget who their center is, but both their center and power forward have been rebounding a lot lately. Caleb Love mostly kind of being a pain in the ass for a lot of the other guards here. He's pretty well the guy, at least hanging around the basket. You know, they run a lot of the offense through him anyways, but the RA under, I can get behind that, yeah.
Okay.
He plays a lot of minutes, though. That's the only thing about him. He's going to play a lot of minutes.
That is the scary part about those unders. Drake Powell,
Yeah.
Josh Hubbard. Another turnover one. You know about Hubbard probably already. What do you think about Hubbard's turnovers?
Yeah. Hubbard's kind of interesting. So he's pretty good with ball discipline. I know he burned me one time. I actually took his under 1.5 and he got over, but he's pretty good. He's pretty disciplined about that. I definitely remember researching this prop before. I would probably leaning towards under if I was to play it more than anything, but it's a 1.5 line. So my personal rule of thumb, I can't play any unders 1.5, but yeah, he's pretty good about it. I will say.
I like that rule too. It's a good one.
Let's see. Okay, who's Bo Montgomery? I have no idea who this guy is.
If anyone new jumped in the chat, if you guys got any questions, just toss them in there. And we're giving E the privilege of just looking through and finding ones that are interesting to him because we got a lot and we don't have too much time. Appreciate them all though. Drop them all, but just gotta let you pick and choose. Gotta keep people in their zone. E will find the best plays if he just picks and chooses his favorites. You looking at Big Bo?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say, honestly, because we got 2 Q tags here, both for Chance McMillan and Darian Williams. Let's see. So Williams expected to be active. Okay, so getting both of these guys back is gonna spread the ball around a lot for sure, because they've been a little shorthanded on offense. Walton's not really a high usage guy. I mean, he had a couple of flashes here with these guys out, but he's more of just kind of a defensive player. He shoots a lot of threes though, so very difficult to make any kind of steals there. Really low turnover guy. This guy averages not even a half a turnover. That one might be a little bit more of a maybe. Yeah, I'd probably pass on that one, honestly, man.
Okay.
Could he get it? Sure. Probably more of a coin flip, though.
Okay.
All right. And then Hubbard, Powell. Okay, we'll circle back to those here in just a second. Let's talk about a couple other plays, and then we'll wrap up with you guys on some more questions.
Assist plays, huh? 4 of them. What the?
Yeah, there's a couple, but they gave us some really good lines, and another familiar, Stephen Ashworth. Honestly, I just told myself I'd play him at 5.5 assists every time they offered it. He did burn us a few games back or what have you whenever he did miss, which was quite unfortunate. And then, of course, he just absolutely wrecked it the game after that.
Of course.
We took him in this matchup against Xavier, and he ended up with 5, and it was also a blowout too, so that was kind of frustrating to see. But just, I mean, through and through the season, I mean, we're talking 76% on the year. A little surprised they're giving it to us at minus 110, 112 range, which is kind of interesting, but I'm not too scared. I mean, Chucky is a really good defender, so he's obviously going to try and force the ball out of his hand as much as possible. 3-and-D kind of guy, comes with high turnovers, but this assist honestly just felt right there, still perfectly on the line. They're giving us about almost a point discount from his normal season average, so I don't mind it. These two teams haven't squared off so far this season, but with 145.5 total, it's nothing too shabby, and they get a nice little pace up from Creighton.
Okay, makes sense to me. I've seen that little dude get 4 assists in 2 minutes, so he can get a 6.
Yeah, and honestly, I like their the matchup for him and their Kalkbrenner down low, super pause, but he should have a lot better of a matchup this time around, and I think that the lobs will be a little bit more in effect.
Makes sense. Whew, Louisville, they're always scary to watch. They always suck in the first half, and then they win in the final 5 minutes. We'll see what they can do in the whole tournament. How far do you think they're going to get?
I think they might make some runs here. I mean, I had them kind of predicted to be one of the upset teams moving into this, and I mean they've performed really, really well. It's just the defense for them, man. They've been playing some phenomenal defense. The amount of turnovers they create is just unreal.
Yeah, and RJ Lewis is really, really becoming that guy where they could just and Richmond too, just doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're pretty tough, man. They're pretty tough. I'm interested to see who knocks them out. I mean, I don't know. They won a lot of games. And close games too. They keep winning. So if they lose to Creighton, I'd be surprised. Creighton's no slouch now. Creighton's good, but
you talking about St. John's there for a second?
Oh, St. John's. My bad. Who's St. John's playing? Who's St. John's playing? Why did I start talking about St. John's instead? I don't know. Maybe I had St. John's on my mind for some reason.
They play some nobodies. Omaha.
Okay. I don't know why I thought of them. I was just thinking St. John's is going to be an interesting team in the tournament in general. So Louisville's like, whatever. They're okay. Who do you think's going to win this game? I feel like it's 50-50.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Louisville can definitely pull up an upset, man. I mean, their team's just playing pretty well in general, and again, the amount of turnovers they're creating, it's making things a lot more difficult for teams, and they're really good about drawing fouls too. One thing I noticed, Chucky and Terrence Edwards, both of these guys just playing really, really well. But I do think that Kalkbrenner versus James Scott is going to be interesting. Scott's going to have quite a lot to deal with. He's been playing good minutes, but he's been on fringe foul trouble a lot of these games here, so he's going to have to really keep the hands to himself. But I think this matchup is favorable for us, and kind of circling back to the Ashworth assist thing, looking for this to step it up a little bit more.
Okay.
Random college ads. Let's go.
Nice.
All right. Moving on. Next up, we got Braden Smith, Purdue, going up against High Points, and surprisingly, only a 7.5 point spread. I've never heard of this team, but we got a nice and juicy 154.5 total. So I love that. Purdue getting a sweet pace up here. And if these teams humming, man, if they're ever playing well, it's always off the back of Braden and TKR, which I love to see. They finally been getting that pick and roll down where TKR is not holding the ball and dribble, shoot the ball. So he's finally stopped doing that. He's catching it more in transition, and the connect between those two has looked phenomenal. Purdue, I believe, coming off, they got smacked last game, right? Yeah, they got their ass whooped by Michigan. So anytime this team is coming off of a loss, dude, they rally like nobody else. And a lot of it, again, just being between Braden and TKR. I got them for a really easy bounce back spot here. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised to see Braden have like 10 to 11 assists this game. 15 to 18 points, not a shocker. They're going to have their hands full dealing with TKR, and this bounce back spot looks promising. So another player who it's on a discount. I mean, he should be 8.5. Some sites do have him at 8.5, so I wouldn't be surprised to see everyone kind of make that leap. But all those things moving forward, gotta like it.
I like it. You sold me. It's always fringy, scary with his assists. But yeah, if it's a little bit lower, if you can get that 7.5, and the line, like you said, the spread's not too bad, I can see him getting 8 pretty easy.
Yeah, and then the minutes, just pencil this guy down for 39 and 40 minutes.
Right. He tied his shoe when he missed that minute right there. He had to go to the bathroom, something. They didn't mean to take him out. Yep,
that was an accident. All right, so we talked about him, and then we got 2 plays left. Zach Ziegler, Tennessee's going up against Wolford, never heard of, but 133 total, could be a little bit better, but the Tennessee should be able to handle business here pretty easy. I think it was pretty high spread, 18.5 points, so expecting there to be blood here. But in the event that Tennessee is doing their thing, we've seen how the offense runs. I mean, it's game in, game out. They run everything through Ziegler now. And even though he's kind of dialed back to scoring a little bit, we've seen some back and forth between this. The playmaking has been there from start to finish throughout the season for him. 67% as a whole. And even in these games where the team struggled a little bit, I mean, granted, Auburn, totally understandable. Texas, totally understandable. We get a cake matchup here. Bro, I'm going to say I wouldn't be surprised. 8 to 10 assists, no problem here. These guys should be scoring at will. And I don't think there's too much risk as far as like him sitting too early. He's still the point guard for the team, and it's not like the backup point guard really runs any kind of overlap over him. So, I mean, worst case scenario, he plays like 31 to 33 minutes, but under 30 minutes, I would be highly, highly surprised if he plays anything less than that.
Let's do it. Same as the last play. It's just one less than it usually is, and if it's not too much of a blowout and he plays his 35 minutes, he should get there. He should.
Yeah. And they're coming off of a nasty little loss too, so I think this is a perfect spot for the team to rally. Everything just get going, get the vibes going right, and if that's happening, I mean, he's assuredly going to have a really high assist rating here. So 6.5. Let's lock it in.
I like it.
All right. And then the last play we'll talk about here before we hop off, just good old, man, it's a gift that just has, bro, I don't even know how many times we played him this year, but Joey B, 1.5 turnovers. I mean, the bookies don't know what to do with themselves because he had a little saving grace in here where he kind of burned us. I believe it was the Dayton game that he crapped on us, and they actually moved him up to 2.5 right after that, which is hilarious because we probably would have taken the 1.5, and then right after that he missed, and they took him right to 1.5 again. So he was available the last 2 slates, and could be the last game of the season. You never know. BYU's been playing some pretty good ball. Wouldn't be shocked there, but yeah, man, 1.5 turnovers. I mean, dude's been coughing it up, especially under the spotlight. He's been really turning it over, and the matchup is going to be a bit more difficult too. So I like it. Trevin Nell is not a bad defender by any means, and if he just keeps having that self turnover at least every game, we're just looking for a steal here. But he could donate it to us like last game. He had three out of bounds turnovers alone last game, so anything's possible.
Anything is possible. I love it because you have toned down the turnover plays as many as you used to have or used to play. Now we only have one. And this is a guy who, like you said, he just keeps on giving it to you. So super pause. But I'm just saying, I'm in, bro. I got to find it. Is it? Let me see. Is it on Fliff? Tell me it's on Fliff.
That could be, actually.
I hope it is.
Because I think that game was fairly close. Yeah, 2.5 point spread. They should give it to us. Well, we will look and see if we can find it there. But
I see it. Minus 175. I'm in. Let's go. I got to put some money lines with it. Let's go.
How is it? Nice.
Are we max betting this, E?
I don't know about max betting, but at least it's worth some coins for sure.
It's worth more than a normal play. At least that. It's worth twice your normal play.
Yeah, we'll probably say like a unit on it. I mean, at least a unit.
At least a unit if you're used to playing a half unit. Or do you think it's an average play? I feel like it's a little bit better, man. I'm in. I'm gonna do a little more than normal than I would normally do on a turnover prop, but I mean, damn. When you look at how many he's done, BYU is not somebody who's gonna just, fuck around and not cause turnovers. So give me that, bro. Where's Chosen?
They've been playing a lot better defense for sure.
Chosen used to say, "Yep, give me that, give me that." Yep,
that's a lick.
That's a lick right there. Yep. Damn, he needs to come on there. Fuck.
Yeah, so max points is pretty interesting. I mean, honestly, it's, the scoring from the offense as a whole has really just been between Joe, Max, and they had a flash of Jack Clark actually really has been coming alive lately. So also hit or miss between him. Even though the points have been really high, he's a fairly low volume shooter, Jack Clark, that is. So it makes sense. I don't mind Suge. He is going up against Richie Saunders, which is going to be kind of interesting. Same thing with him, man, too. I mean, if I was to not tell you who this player's name was, and we click from this stats to this stats, that looks so identical. It's not even funny. And then let me show you Joe's. I'm pretty sure Joe's looks exactly like that too. He's actually the one who shoots even more. Yeah, he shoots even more. His turnout though is even worse. So, I mean, tomato. Yeah, if you want to pick one of these guys, I get it. I would say the leaders are really more Max and Joe. Jack Clark's been kind of the fan favorite, but hard to trust these guys, man. Hard to trust them.
Well, if you say it's hard to trust him, gotta
go with your gut here. If you got one of the three of them, it was just easier to figure out the turnover thing because Joe just does it every game. So, but I won't fault you. Take one of the scorers.
Oh, Joe, you better fumble twice tomorrow, Joe. You motherfucker. Eric says Igor RA or Igor RA.
Yeah, if we're talking Igor from Michigan, or not Michigan, from BYU, that dude is a stay
That's
away and a
E's
half right
favorite
now.
player.
This dude took a dump on everybody last slate. I could not believe he was the most popular play on Prizepicks. Dude, that shit had me laughing so hard.
Do
Um,
could it have been? No, it never could have been for the under, right? No way could they have an under for the most played,
oh no,
right? Okay.
no, it was all green bars. He was greened out and beyond. Oh, and that was something too that hopefully you guys saw that I kind of brought up over the weekend. Prizepicks was not scoring the last fives correctly. They definitely had a cutoff here on like March 8th for a lot of teams, or the 8th or the 9th, whatever that last time before they started doing the play-in games. They were not showing those on the last five. So he definitely was one. Had you looked the game before, you'd have been like, I don't know about that, but. Yeah, personally, I can't trust the minutes, man. He's been turning the ball over, and coach has been benching him immediately. He's been benched early and losing out in minutes in the last two games. I'm actually surprised he even got 25 minutes. Coach really had no reason whatsoever bringing him back in that last rotation before the game ended. I mean, he's been playing really bad. He could definitely turn it around here. You know, I'm not going to discredit that. He could have a bounce back game, but his minutes are directly coming to his production, and I'm not sure how to make of that because it's crunch time. You know, this tournament time. So we've seen coaches where we're like, if you're not playing, somebody else is playing. Well, they're going to play.
Yeah, if you see stuff like that, man, like when I see stuff like that and I go, yo, this dude's 18 years old, 19 max. If he's having these up and down games back and forth, how can you put money on that, bro? He's 18, 19 years old. You can't bet on that, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure his lines are probably pretty low. Was
Well,
it 6.5?
I'm saying you can't bet on an 18, 19-year-old when they have these up and down games every other game already. Like, that's crazy. You can't rely on that.
Too many inconsistencies and unknowns.
Yeah. Hunter Dickinson's been actually kind of balling, right?
Yeah, his lines have honestly been through the roof for the last hot minute now. He was actually another player who jokingly last game, because I think he was at 20.5 points. I get it. I mean, he's been playing well over his head, but it's kind of weird that they have his lines just so much higher. And I mean, it's not really the best matchup here. You know, let's be honest. Arkansas has been pretty good on defense. I mean, between Visick and Trevon, they've been holding down inside the paint. And Visick, this dude's been a block machine. I know the defense has kind of slacked off a little bit. Kind of curious if coach is maybe going to switch the lineup a little bit more again this last game. I actually didn't even notice his minutes have taken a massive hit here. That's interesting. That makes me feel better about our Trevon play, though, because if he's not playing minutes, then this dude's definitely got to play minutes. So, well, that's cool. Yeah, Dickinson, though, man, his lines are just so high. I mean, the fantasy, I kind of get it. He's been a little bit closer to that, but
yeah, his lines are like he got to play like a amazing game to get to his spots.
Yeah, you're gonna need a lot to happen here. I
He's
mean,
he's a good alt guy. He's a good alt guy, you know.
Yeah.
He's super consistent.
He can really block and steal his way to quite a bit of fantasy, but I think the biggest crutch that he has right here has got to be the points. I mean, 19.5 is just way too high. I mean, you can see here he's only averaging just over 16.5 or 17.5 points, so we got a 2-point tax on it, and I mean, clearly reflects.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right, then. Let's see. We talked about that. Okie dokie. Well, I think that's going to be about it for us tonight. Talked about our plays that we got here. Make sure you guys are in the Discord. Again, if we didn't talk about that already, which I think we skipped over, check it out. Links down below in the description. Still running a 7-day free trial. And shout out to Big Coach. Got to say also as well, he's been killing it with the money lines. Really putting out some heat for that. And now with the tournament getting ready to start up, I expect we're going to have a lot of options for that tomorrow as well. So, underrated, man. You got anything for us before we get out of here?
I think right when you said that, I was like, we got to say this before we get off, man. Coach's money lines for real, bro. I think he's swept 5 days in a row. No bullshit. Like, okay, and this is what I love about it too. A lot of people who will bet on college games, they'll bet on spreads. But because the way that we've been looking at games and stuff, we've been throwing money lines in a lot of times. And I feel like Coach found the trick with putting the money lines together for the right risk of the teams. Because you see a minus 500, minus 600, you're like, damn, they're really supposed to lose. But coaches get crazy good at like which ones are supposed to lose and which ones aren't. Like, I don't know. I think the lines are a little loose because it's college. A little bit. But I'm saying it's so cracking. Like, if you do the money lines, I think the money lines are off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember how you've looked at them before and you've been like, damn, that's a minus 900, but they're only favored by 8 or whatever. Sometimes they just, these college money lines can be fucked with. Like, he swept 5 days in a row on money lines. 5 days in a row, bro. He hasn't lost. That's real. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, even, you were kind of shocked and taken back whenever we were getting ready to hop on, and I told you the spread from the Purdue game because you were assuming it was just going to be a beatdown, and come to find out,
I'm like, who's that?
maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But we could be looking back at it tomorrow and being like, oh my God, that was so free. Like, Purdue blows them out by 20. Like, what was the 7.5?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Coach has been paying attention to this for years, so he knows. That's what's so dope. Like, bro, his shit's crazy. You know what he did today too? He had 3 plays. I don't know if you noticed. He had 3 money lines, and then he had 2 of the 3 for first half. And the 2 that he picked for the first half are the ones that did hit also. So he hit all the money lines and the 2 first halves, and the third one was the one that was sketch, and he picked the right one to not do. Shit was wild.
Well, didn't he say that Fliff just added first half stuff? Like, that's new?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. And I think he said something else about I guess that was what it was. Okay. There was something crazy. Oh, no, it was the futures now, too. They got the futures on there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, finally.
That'll be cool. That'll be interesting. But anyways,
Nice.
I just wanted to shout Coach out real quick because he's been killing it. So if you guys like betting on the teams too, he's cracking in there in the Discord. So come on through if you're not. That's all.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we are going to get out of here. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us as always. We'll see as far as, I guess, what our streaming schedule is going to be like for the rest of the week. A lot of weird start times, and I think tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Friday, another slate, but it might be a really small one. So we'll keep you guys posted for that. But y'all have a great night. Let's have some hopefully green slips and a lot of wins tomorrow. Good luck, and we'll catch y'all back here later. Peace.